Yeah, so you guys install the PyCharm because how can we check like configure configuration in the PyCharm, right, for the Spark project. So if you have not installed PyCharm, so you can go to it. So same like we installed the IntelliJ IDEA. So PyCharm is same company. Okay, download PyCharm. So you can go to the PyCharm and community version you can download. Otherwise, you will get the problem of the trial. Okay. So you download the PyCharm. This community version you download. And how to start the PyCharm? You have to go to the installation folder. So my PyCharm is here. Go to the bin, and here you have to start this PyCharm shell script. Okay. So it will start the PyCharm. Okay. So once you come with the PyCharm here, so what configuration you need to do for any PySpark code? Okay, you want to run simple Python code, you can directly run. Okay, because the Python is configured with the PyCharm. But when you want to run your PySpark code, so you need a PySpark library. Okay, so for this PySpark libraries, right, you have to once you open the PyCharm editor. Okay, so okay, so here you have to go to settings. Settings, and if you are running on Windows, you have to set the Hadoop home and Spark home path. Okay, so whatever is Spark installation folder, you have to give the Hadoop home and Spark home and bin path you have to set. But in our Ubuntu, right, we have already Hadoop and Spark is running, right? So we don't need to set separately again the path. Okay, so that path is already set. Hadoop is there, Spark is there. Okay, so only thing is we need to in the settings, like we have to add the our library. So PySpark library I added, and I added this py4j source library. So these two packages you have to add. So how to add this add content to? Double click on this. When you double click on this, so you will go to your Spark installation folder you go. So where is your Spark is there? So my Spark is in the softwares, and here is my Spark 3.2.3, and there is a Python folder. In this Python folder, you go to list, these two you will get it here. So Py4j and PySpark zip. So PySpark zip is providing the libraries, module libraries for the your PySpark code, right? Okay, so once you get this PySpark zip and this one, you configure here, okay, and then you restart your PyCharm. Once you restart your PyCharm, you will be able to see your all code will be fine, right? There is no compilation errors. Any code you will see, so there is no compilation error. Okay, so now practically you can run the code in the IntelliJ. You can test the code. Okay, and another way is the Spark Submit job we do. We create, we just have a py file, so we can do the Spark Submit. That's the same process like we do for the Spark Scala code. But Python code we need a py file, and then we do the Spark Submit for this. Okay, so for any code you can configure and you can run. Okay, let's come to like how to integrate the MySQL with the Spark. Okay, So I have already started my MySQL. My MySQL is running here. Okay. And I want to create a table and read and write the data from MySQL table to Spark. So I want to write a data to my MySQL table and I want to read the data from the MySQL. So I want to ingest data or I want to write the data to the MySQL table. So any DB database is fine, right? You can use Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, all will be using the same process, right? Just only you need to change their URL, username, password, and those things you need to change. Okay. So first of all, like you have to start the Spark shell. Okay. So there are two ways you can do. One is like you can do with the Spark shell. So it's Spark shell just for testing, I told. Okay. And another way is you can create your Spark Scala project. You can create a Spark Scala project. There is a MySQL connector jar, and then you can do the connection. Okay. Okay, so that way you can do programmatically, and command line you can do with the Spark shell. So if you want to do with the Spark shell, we need MySQL connector. So you have to use MySQL connector is a package. So I told you any other integration you want to do, you want to connect with the Kafka, you want to connect with the MySQL, you want to connect with the Cassandra, Mongo. So every these different component have their connectors. Okay. So when I say like I want to connect SQL DBs, so SQL DBs has the SQL connector. Okay. SQL connector is nothing but the driver, right? The database connector jar you need, database connector jar. So in case of MySQL, there is a MySQL connector 5.1.47, right? This connector jar, right? So this one I have to connect. And when I say I want to connect NoSQL DBs, so NoSQL DBs like I want to connect Cassandra, Mongo, okay? So all these are following the same way. Okay. So here is also we need a connector. So Mongo connector, Mongo Spark connector, and Cassandra Spark connector. So this connector we have to use with the package. Okay. So when I say Spark hyphen shell and minus minus package, so I should know that package. There are two ways are there. Either you can do with minus minus package or you can do minus minus jar. So minus minus package is you can give the online package. This is the online package, and this online package, if I say this online package is like basically it will directly download this library from the this package. It will download from the uh, repo. Okay, so online repo it will download. So when I give the jar, so I have to give the local path of the jar. So I say like, okay, I have some my local machine, I have that database connector jar. So that connector jar, I can use it. That is the second way. But if we don't know that jar is already placed, so we can use this minus minus package. So minus minus package we can use for any connector, right? Whether it's a SQL or database, NoSQL, okay, or Kafka. So we use this minus minus package. So once we done this, so we will get the Scala shell we will get because we are doing for the Spark Scala. If we are going for the PySpark, the same thing I will do for the PySpark. I will write a command like this, PySpark, and then I will give this minus minus package. The minus minus package will be same for both. Okay. But in this case, I will get the PySpark shell. I will get triple greater than sign. Then I can write my statement. I can write my read and write statement. I can write. Okay. So first I have to start my Spark Scala shell. Okay, first I have to start the Spark Scala shell. So I will get the Scala shell. Okay, so I got the Scala shell, and after getting the Scala shell, I'm I'm just creating a row. I'm just creating some sample data because I want to create some table in MySQL. So I'm just writing a code. This code is like I'm creating a one record, right? I'm creating a one record. Okay, I'm creating a one record. So I'm just using the import, and then I'm just row, and then I'm just creating a one record. Just and then I'm parallelize this RDD. This sequence row, I'm just parallelize, then it will become RDD. Okay, so I'm making it RDD. Okay. So this is a sample data, right? You can create any data, any number of columns. You can define the schema, and then you can create. Okay, and this is import for the data types. Okay, all the SQL data types are there, like integer type, string type. For that, we are doing the import. So this is a schema. So schema I'm defining here as per my data, right? My data, if you look at, so if I look at my data, right, I have a ID, name, and the second field is third field is the designation, then salary and department, right? So I'm creating a schema for that. I'm creating a schema. Okay. So once I create a schema, now I can attach my schema with my RDD and I created data frame. Because when I'm reading the data as data frame, I am writing the data as a data frame also. So in MySQL or any SQL DB, NoSQL DB, we are transferring the data as a data frame only. Okay, because it is like a it's structure based data, right? Because we are getting the data from the DBs, right? Or SQL, NoSQL, Elasticsearch, we're getting the data frame only. So we are writing also the data frame. So I'm creating a new data frame. Okay, so here when I'm going to write a data frame, so the command is the data frame dot write. So there is a one format, right? So format is specified, like whether which type of format you want to write the data. You want to write a data as a JDBC format or any file system format, JSON, CSV, XML. So we can specify the format. When we talk about the format is a JDBC, so I have to specify mode, in which mode. Generally this mode is very common, right? This mode is specifying either append mode or overwrite mode. So append and overwrite mode, I'm talking about like basically I want to keep appending my data in the database, or I want to overwrite my existing data in the database table. Okay, so for that I'm defining the mode, and the option I'm defining the URL, username and password. Okay, and driver I'm just giving for which SQL DB I'm running the this data frame dot write command. So I'm specifying here. So I'm creating a table. So new table it will create. Okay, but if the table is already exist, so it will keep appending the data. If the table is not exist, it will create a new table. But if the table is already exist, so it will appending the data or overriding the data. Okay. So I'm giving my SQL database username and password. So my password is password. Okay. I'm just and make sure like what database you are using. Please ask. Yeah, so you have to provide some parameter, right? Minus minus package you cannot leave empty. Just minus minus package will not work. You have to give a specific minus minus package, right? If you are using MySQL, so MySQL package, it needs argument here. Okay, yeah. I will give command. First you look at the here and then I will provide that. Okay, so okay, I just verify in my table, show table. So this employee 4 table is created. Okay, and if I see describe, so this is a schema, right? So I have 5 fields. Okay, but there is data. Let's see, employee 4. So this one record data is created. We can bulk data also we can prepare. So we have to prepare data frame. This data frame can come from anywhere. So this is a hard-coded data frame we prepared. But if we take the data from the CSV file, so this is a pipeline only, right? We are taking the data from one source and writing the data to the one other target. So once I take the data from the CSV file, I will get the data frame. So you can write same data frame. It's just for testing, right? We have created a new record and we created a RDD, and then we attach the RDD with the schema and then create a data frame and writing this data frame to the your MySQL table. And if we want to test for the bulk data, so we can prepare a large data frame, right? We can get the data from the any files. We can read the CSV file and then write the data into the DB table. Okay. So now this data I want to read back because I have written the data, but I want to read this data through my Spark shell. Okay. So what I need to give again spark.read.format, and I'm specifying the format is a JDBC driver. I'm specifying URL. I'm specifying, and I'm specifying the DB table. So I have to change DB table. Okay, and the same other things I will. So I will get the data as a data frame. So now, so whatever this JDBC DF, I will check. So it's the same data I'm doing. Okay. So if I create a multiple record, I can update, override also I can do. So it will do override. Okay. So this way I can connect MySQL and you can change any SQL DB. Okay. You can change any SQL database by using this. So this is clear, this one. Okay. Next thing, okay. Okay, next thing we try with the Hive. Okay, so Hive we know is a data warehouse tool. Okay, Hive is the data warehouse tool, and we want to write a data in the Hive, right? So from the Spark, right? So Spark can read and write the data to the Hive. Okay, so generally we use like for OLTP's operations, right? When we want to write the data, transitional data, so we use the SQL DBs. But sometimes we are using the data warehousing tools, right? We are writing the data like batch data. We are loading the data once, and then we are doing the analytics on top of the data. So we are using Hive for the analytics tool, or we are doing reporting in the Tableau. So there are the like ways like we can have in the Hive the partitioning, right? So there, that is a benefit, like daily basis the files are coming and we are loading these files in the partitions. Okay, so we can load data into the partition table, right? So we can create a partition by date and then we can load. So when you want to integrate with Hive, so first of all, Hive is using the Thrift server. So we have to connect Hive with Spark using the Thrift server. And the first thing is like whatever Hive site.xml file is there. So this Hive site.xml, you will see here the Thrift configuration you will see. So here you will see here the 9083 is the um, like the port, right? The Hive meta server port. Okay. So this Hive meta server URI. So this Hive is running on this 9083 port. So 9083 port we can connect using the Thrift. Okay. So this Hive site.xml we need to copy in the Spark configuration. So we have to copy in the Spark configuration. So we have to copy the Hive site.xml file in the Spark conf folder because we have to tell as a Hive is a data warehousing tool, and we want to use the when we want to write a data frame into Hive. So this Hive configuration things will be given to the Spark. So Hive site.xml is copied to the Spark configuration. So this Hive site.xml I have already copied. So we go to the Spark. So here we copied the HiveSite.xml, and there is a meta. Okay, so another thing is, next thing is, I have to start the meta store service. So meta store service is the DB, right? That is Derby is by default. So that meta store DB is storing the all meta information, right? About the database tables, all those information is stored in the meta store DB. So need to start the meta store service. Okay. First I check my Hive. So I'm verifying the. This is a empty one. Show data basis. Okay. Okay. So I start the Metastore service, and I should not be running Hive that time. Okay, when I'm just doing the loading the data, so I should run this Metastore service. So Spark need this Metastore service keep running. Next, and here we start the Spark shell with this meta server. Okay, so this is for 1.6, but we are not using 1.6 older version. We are using Spark 2.x and 3.x. Testing. So we have to we have to use the database. So Spark SQL. H1 warning. Okay. Right. Yeah. Meta service running the back. And I should make sure Hadoop service running. Yeah, Hadoop is running. Anybody has installed Hive and Spark?
Yes, yes, sir. I think I have one.
You have Hive. Just to try. Um, I'm just giving the command.
Okay.
So just copy your Hive site.xml. Okay, and just start the Spark shell. But you should know some database. Okay, first you do this. Yeah. So copy hypesite.xml in the Spark configuration folder and start the meta service. And the Spark shell, you start with the driver option with the meta store URI. And after doing that,
Okay.
so whatever your SQL database is there, right? You have already SQL database. So
Yes.
just on the Scala shell, you run this command.
Okay.
This command you run and let me know, right? It's working in your one, then I'll do.
Okay. I'll do
Okay,
that.
so just spark.sql, you have to just check it whether you are able to connect with uh, your Hive SQL database table or not. Okay,
Okay.
database you are able to connect. So generally, what are the steps are there? So once we are connected, so I'm just using the database and creating a new table. Okay. So whatever SQL command you can run it in the spark.sql. So spark.sql is a Spark SQL, and there we can run any SQL queries and we can run and execute in the Hive. So same thing like here also I'm preparing the data, right? I'm creating a data frame. I want to write this data frame into Hive table. So I have created the same thing, right? I created a record and then I parallelize and then I create a schema, I create a data frame, and then I can use simple one-line statement, data frame dot write dot mode. And here is no need of define the format because here we already like now this spark.sql we already set it this we are doing to write in the Hive table. Okay, so this data frame dot write so when I'm using my use command, right, so it is basically connecting to the my Hive database table. So once you are connected with your Hive database table, then you can perform the write operation in the Hive table. So here, if it is my partition table is there, I can do partition, right? I can specify the partition. It will create a new partition with the date. This is a static partition. Okay, so static partition you can do, or other way is suppose your data frame has this date column and just you say partition by column name. If you say partition by column name, so it will automatically take the dynamic partition. So this is a dynamic partition. This is without partition, right? I'm not having any partition. So wherever in table, right? So there are the two things, right? Insert into and save as table. So save as table is when you are creating a new table, you don't have the table before, then you will always use save as table. So you can use save as table or insert into, both are fine. It will create a new table. But suppose table is already there. If table is an existing table, then you can't use save as table because save as table, it will give the error. In that case, you will use insert into. So insert into you have to use when the table is an existing table. And when the table is not existing, you can use either save as table or insert into. Okay, in the both the case, it will create a new table.
What of if we use the mode as append and save as table?
Yeah, so append and override, it doesn't affect, okay, because the first thing is check whether the table is there or not, okay? So if table is not there, it will create a new table. So whether you do append or override it for the new table, it doesn't matter, right? Both are the same, right? Okay, because if the table is new, either you do override or append, both will be behave same, right? It will insert the data, right? But the table is the existing table, okay? And then append and override has a significance, right? Because when you say append, so the data will be appended in your last data, which is inserted. If you are saying override, it will override the data. If it is a partition you are doing, so partition data will be overridden, not the entire table. But there is no partition, then entire data of the table will be overridden. So it depends what parameter you are using. So if you are using like override append, that have a significance mostly in the existing table, not for the new table. New table, it will be the same. Either you give append or override, it's not a matter. Or if you don't give it this mode, it will take a default mode is a append mode. Okay. For the existing table, you need to specify this mode because otherwise it will be always in the append by default, because append is a by default mode, right? So if you are not specifying mode override in the existing table, in the scenario of the existing table, so your data will be not overridden. Okay, so you should use that. Richard, did you check it?
Yeah, it's still running. I think I'm online. It's still running the service method store. It just hung at.
No,
some-
that will be keep running. That you okay?
Oh.
Can you share a screen?
Okay, okay. Oh, I open on that window. Is that what you want?
Right. Okay.
It say it keeps running because it doesn't stop.
Yeah. So it will not stop, right? The
Okay,
Metastore
okay.
service keep running. You open another shell. You
Okay,
can open
okay.
another shell, and there
Sure.
you type the Spark shell.
Okay, I got it.
And then start again this one, like a Metastore URI, this option. This one.
Okay, good.
Okay, script server. Because you have to open, because Metastore service is like running. Because if you add ampersand sign, then it will come out and it will be running in the background. Okay, because the service is running foreground. You know, right, how to make it service in the background? Just add the append. Okay. Okay. So another one is the option is there, no hub, right? If you add the no hub in the beginning, right, so that service will become in the background. Okay, so that's the reason it's running in the foreground. So you start this Spark shell, You start this Spark shell and just check only one single this line you check like spark.sql you are able to connect it or not your database.
Started Spark shell now. So it's started. So slow.
Yeah, I think it's a problem in the Hive or it's a problem in the.
Okay. So after Spark shell is started, I'll start what?
Yeah, did you do that statement? This use command, this one, spark.sql, did you run this?
Okay, hang on, let me check. Means Spark, okay, means the one you have on the, where you say Spark dash shell dash driver, is that the one?
Yeah, you do this first, spark hyphen shell and minus minus driver Java option. And your Spark shell, Scala shell will come. Okay. Spark shell for Scala will come. And then after you write only spark.sql use whatever your database, because this is I given my database. So you should know any database name, any database is fine.
Oh,
Okay.
let's see if we can get this.
So any database you can test. Let me try the default DB. You are getting error or you are getting no error, what you think?
I can't copy and paste from this to Ubuntu, so I have to. Okay. Copy and paste.
Anyone also can try, right? Whoever has the Spark and Hive, they can try. Those who have running Spark and Hive both.
Copy and paste doesn't work here, so
It's not working.
I said copy and paste doesn't work actually inside the virtual window.
Can you show me the screen? So because I'm not getting what. Okay, show me the screen. Let me check. I'm making you host.
Oh, okay. How do I do that? Share screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if
See, is this Spark shell? This is not double hyphen. Spark hyphen shell. Yeah.
no. The one I ran, I can't see the window again. I have to open another one.
And I'm telling you, you write it down. Okay. What Spark hyphen shell?
That's it?
No. You have to type it the entire command, right? It's a Spark hyphen shell, then minus minus driver Java option, minus minus, double minus, driver, hyphen, Java, hyphen, hyphen, single hyphen, Java, hyphen, options, Java, hyphen, options, space, double quote, space,
Okay.
double quote, and hyphen, D capital, D for dog, D,
Oh, D for dog, okay.
hive, 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 dot metastore dot URI, metastore dot URIS, equal THRIFT, thrift,
Yes.
T for toy,
Okay.
H for horse, thrift, THRIFT,
TH, okay. IS.
no, THRI, FT,
Okay.
F for fog.
Okay,
T colon // localhost
no good. Okay,
localhost colon 9083 colon 9083 and double quote. Yeah, now enter. You remember any database name in the high? Oh, bad option.
No, I think you ran right.
Driver hyphen two hyphen you are giving, right?
Yes,
Spark hyphen. So your Spark shell is working. Can you do Spark hyphen shell?
yes, it works.
Oh, options, right? I told options. Okay. Up arrow. Options. It was a S. Options. Up arrow. Okay. Up arrow works, right? Okay. No. You delete key.
It doesn't work. You
It's
can't,
not Windows.
you can't copy and paste.
Okay.
all
Options. S Java hyphen options.
options.
there.
Yeah,
Enter. Okay.
we need a list of all these commands, Andy.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I have kept it. That's the reason, like, if you copy paste thing is working, so you can easily.
There's no copy and paste between the windows here.
Actually, it's not working in your case, right?
It's not working.
Okay, now spark.sql. Now you type, you know the DB name, database name, right? Spark.sql.
I can. How do I check? LS.
No, not LS here. This is a Scala
No,
shell.
to find the database that you put. I don't know the name.
Show databases. Okay, I'll tell you that you can do from here itself. Spark.sql. Spark.sql and bracket double quote. Show databases. Show space databases. Double quote. Yeah. Enter.
What's the second time?
So in your case, Metastore DB is not connecting. Go a little up. It is connect. Your Hadoop is running. Can you check
Yes.
the?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I started off.
Unable to.
Deadline expired.
Can you check in the last? What is the error?
Where?
Yeah, here in the some cause by something is error. Go down. There is, I think it's somehow, yeah, here. Not connect to store URI, any of the URI most recent failure. Okay, Metastore exception. Cannot connect Metastore. Have you copied the configuration file?
Yes, I can show you. I can show you. Yeah.
Okay.
This is part 3.
Configuration highside.xml.
Yeah.
Okay, so copy it.
I have to. I copied it. I don't know what is this one.
And just go to the another URL, right? Tab, right there, the Metastore service running URL. Yeah, that is fine. It's copied. Yeah, that is the another tab. That Metastore service you started, right?
Yeah, we can start it.
In the same terminal, right? There is another tab, right? You already opened it.
Oh, okay.
That Metastore service, yeah.
This
So
one.
it's running, right? It's not.
This one is still running. It's that's the.
Yeah, that is fine. It's running. So this Metastore service is running, and it's not. Okay, so your error is different. Your error is it's not itself is able to connect to the database. Okay, just check. Like, okay, you don't remember any database name, right?
No,
Which database
no.
is there? But it is giving error to Metastore using the any of the URI. Okay, can you show me the what is the command you give? This minus driver Java option. Command is correct on the shift colon.
Oh, before this.
Okay, okay. So this is the thrift, okay. Okay, you put it one slash localhost. See, it is a double slash is there.
Double slash,
and
yes,
you
on
check
your
your
own.
command.
Yeah, I wish I can copy and paste. I have
Okay,
it.
okay, okay. You control G, you come out from the shell. Okay, but only just change the one more slash you do. Actually, it is not properly. Yeah.
I can do it in another window, can I? Another shell.
Okay. You come out from this shell.
Yeah,
Control G. Come out from this Scala shell.
Control V. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you paste it and then yeah, and change that double slash. Mm. Yeah, typing mistakes, right? Okay. Okay. Enter.
That's it. Why does copy and paste doesn't work between these windows?
It works actually. Mine is working. So actually, maybe
I
some
need it to
problem or
work
something.
because it will simplify things for me.
Some CD installation we
like to
have
do-
to do. Okay, some configuration. If it is not working in one go, so we have to do some configuration things we have to do.
Okay. So
Or another way is there, like you
It's
can
working
share
now.
the data. We can share the data from one Windows machine to the Linux machine. We can share.
Okay.
So you can open one notepad there and copy paste anything in there and open the same notepad here. You can get it. So there is a way, right? We can share the
Data,
drive. You can share the one particular folder in Windows to here.
Of course.
Okay, now can you start that use command you do spark.sql show databases. Show database. Because last time was the thrift was not connected.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah, now your one is successful.
Nice
See,
one.
your one is successful. Now you do, okay, again that command you do and the show function you call. I mean, right now you are not able to see your database's name, right?
Yes.
Go up command. No, go up command. Up command you do. The last
Up.
command. Up arrow. Up arrow will come.
Oh, okay. This one
Dot show. Dot show. Dot show. So whatever result now you have not stored somewhere, you just run the command. Okay. So either you show function you call or you take it the result in some RDD.
I
From,
get you.
okay,
Is that
some data frame you take it.
Is that
Now
sure as
enter.
just no? Okay.
Now enter. Now you will see there are
Oh,
two databases are there. Like
yeah.
now you can verify one is a default that is by default there and one is a test.
Test, yes.
Okay. Now you can do spark.sql. You type spark.sql and double quote you type use database test use test in the bracket double quote use command and the space test. You have to tell which database you want to.
Okay, I got you.
But here you don't need to show because this is the background command, right? Because show command is generally something is result is coming, but here is no
I want
result.
to see it, yes.
Yeah.
Just
So
enter.
just you have to make it use because it's a empty. Even if you are trying to dot show also, your data frame will come empty because here is nothing written.
There's nothing there.
In the last command, if you see name space colon string, so some result is returning. Name space type of column is returning, right? Name space colon string. But here is nothing is returning. This data frame is coming empty. If you try to show also, it is not an error, but it will not give you anything because this is the background command. Okay. Now if you do spark.sql, like everything you can run it here itself and bracket double quote select star from test. Double quote, select star from test. Now you want to see, no, select star from test.
Oh, select. Oh, okay. Just come on. Just
Select star from test. Now you are saying here, like I want to
This,
see
uh,
the record of this table.
SQL, yes.
Double quote will close.
Double quotes, finish.
And here you have to do dot show, or you take the otherwise data frame you create, a new data frame.
Okay.
Mm.
What?
Okay, so this is giving error, go up. Mm.
Why?
See, test is your database name. It's not a table, okay? So how can you do select star? So you have to do show table first. You need to know
Okay.
what are the tables are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So this
That
patch,
test is
Up
a
arrow you use, up
Sorry.
arrow you use, and change this select star from table to show table. Yeah, show tables.
show space table, right?
Not here, not here. Inside the double quote bracket.
inside the codes, show tables.
Oh,
Okay, I think I have a control. Yeah, show tables, SHOW. Tables. No, tables as spelling is wrong.
oh, come on. Again,
No, actually, one second.
I put
I
double.
think I'm. Can you give me the control 1 second? I check.
Tables
I'm
are
having.
this.
I did
Table
already.
has,
Okay, I'm getting control. Okay, now I will do. I think this time is a control
Tables.
dot show. Okay.
Yeah.
So the data is not there. Table is there, but there is no table. This is not having any table. Okay, so what we do, we create a new table.
Create a table, yes.
Okay, so
It's only schema, na, sir.
yeah, only schema, just database is there. Okay, so I'm going to create a new table. So I can directly create from here the table. Okay, so create table if not exist employee. I say this employee table, and I say
With the schema.
yeah, I'm just writing. Actually, the syntax. I'm arranging the window so that I can see. Okay, so okay, employee. I say ID int name string a in row format delimited fields terminated
So many
terminated
things.
by single quote comma line. Generally, this one is not needed, and because by default is a slash n is a new line character. Double quote and bracket.
Yeah, I think it's
So our syntax got wrong here. Create table if not exist. Employee is a table name. ID in name string. Age in okay. Row format delimited. Okay, and fields terminated by
okay. The terminated by lines. Terminated is the spelling. Maybe correct. Yeah.
yeah, something will wrong, then you will get error because this is a SQL error, right? So SQL error is coming.
Yeah. I think
If
so.
it is, yeah, if table is created successfully, so it is now you do the show table again. To do the show table, so you will see now the table. So you don't need to connect the Hive. Everything you can see here. Namespace is your test, your database schema, and there your table is created employee. And is temporary, it's not a temporary table type. So it's coming false. Okay. So that is not for our purpose. Now, next thing is here I have to create a one data frame. So I'm just creating a one org Apache Spark dot SQL dot row. Okay, I create one row.
Syntax.
I'm also by checking and then writing, but yeah, but we can remember it. It's a like
Yeah,
okay, so sequence S is not
SQL.
capital. So this is a collection, right, in the Scala, right? So now I will create RDD. So emp RDD, and I can do spark dot spark context dot parallelize PARA double LELIE, and then I will pass my row. So now it is becoming my RDD. The
Okay.
next thing is I have to create a data frame. Org Apache Spark dot SQL dot types, because all these statement we have to import. Okay. Because when we are using programmatic way, it will be all available in the jar. But here is we are doing on the shell, right? So here we have to do. So one schema I'm creating, employee schema, and this schema is a struct type. Struct type I'm defining RUCT struct type, both capital S and T, and then is the array of collection. So I'm saying struct field FIELD, and then column name. Column name is ID. What is the type of column? Integer type.
Teach.
And integer and type T capital, integer type. And the next one parameter we have to give I true. So generally we are creating a first time, we can give a true. So it's the default value is true. Again, second field is a struct field. So how many fields are there? You will be defining the all field as a struct field. And then you say next one is a name field, and type is a string type, that is the data type, and true, and bracket close. And next is again a struct field.
So you couldn't transfer the schema from directly. You have to create this.
Yeah, so this schema we are attaching with the RDD, because same schema should be there, what the data values are there.
I
The
understand,
three
but
columns are there.
you couldn't,
I'm-
you couldn't share the schema when you're transferring. You have
what?
to the schema, you have to redefine it here for the RDD.
Yeah, because when you are attaching the schema, then I mean, it's still the schema is not, it's just the RDD. Okay, so when data frame is always attached with the schema. Okay, the schema is created. Now I will be creating a df emp df spark dot create data frame, and then my schema, my RDD comma schema emp schema. So if I want to see my data frame result, right? So I can check it first, empdf dot show. So this is the data is there. So last time we seen that like how many ways we can do it. This is not non-partition table. This is not a partition table. So I can use either insert into, or I can use the save as table. Okay. This is existing table, because table I have already created, right? Okay.
Right.
So I will try first save as table. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. So I will do emp df dot write empdf dot write dot mode is default is append. Okay. Okay. I don't write the mode. Okay. And I say here insert into, or save as table. I try first save as table, and what table name I given? I given the employee.
Employee.
So whatever database you have used, right, in that database, this table will go. Okay. This table, right? But this table is already there. I'm trying for the existing table. Okay. I'm trying for the existing table with the save as table. Okay. Select. Okay. So write save as table employee. Are you getting the error? Right? Because
Yeah,
it's saying this table is exist. If you
it
want to create a
already
new table, you
exists.
can do. You can create a new table. It will
Yeah.
create a new table with the save as table. Now it is going to write the data. Now you want to verify. So you can do show tables. So this employee one will come. So
Mhm.
employee one created a new table. If you want to see the result of this table, so select star from table, right? We can do and we can see the result. We can do select
Stuff.
from employee one, and or you can do in the another new df you can create. Well, df1 equal to like this. You can take it because
Yeah,
if you are
yeah.
storing the result, the advantage is you can use multiple
Can-
time anywhere.
You can
But
use
if
it
you
again.
just do show, if you do just show, it is just temporary. It will be showing the result, but it will not be storing your result. That show. But
Right.
df, like you assign
Okay.
some variable and then further anytime you can get the result of that data frame. So now the whatever record I inserted, right, the same record I'm able to see. This is the case when my table was not there and I created a table by using the save as table, right? Now I try to append the data in my existing table by using the insert into. Okay. So I will write a data frame dot write, and I'm giving like employee table, employee one I gave. Okay, because both are there, right? Either employee or employee one. And now here I will do insert into. So same data frame I'm writing again in the existing table.
You want to add
And by default is a append mode. So I should get one more record in my employee one table. Okay. Okay. So now if I do again this select I have to do because the data is old data, right? So df1 I have to overwrite again. Like I have to get it data back again. Now I should do df1 dot show. So I should get the two records.
right.
So I'm getting the two records. So insert into is appending by default append mode. Suppose I don't want these two records. I want only one record. So I will go for overwrite mode. So I can define here dot mode, right? Dot mode, and I can say here overwrite. So default mode is append mode, but explicitly you say you want overwrite. So you can write the data. So now again, I will do the select because I have to check the data again. I'm selecting the data and now I'm doing show. So I should get only one because I have used the override. So this is the case of without partition table, right? Here, if you see the table is created non-partition table. If I want to see any command of the SQL I can run, right? Show partitions I want to see, or I want to do show create table command. So show create table command, I want to see this table schema, table database schema I want to see, and show create table. Okay, so these command generally you directly do the show because this command, this show create table, there is no specific result, right? This is just for checking purpose. So generally we should do dot show in the command itself. Okay, so show create table. So you will see now this command is not coming completely, so you can use the false. So false will be giving you the complete syntax. So you are able to see the show create table.
Okay.
But this slash
all these
and
tables,
is
are they
coming,
being
that is
created
basically a new
in
line
IVE,
character.
in IVE tables or HDFS?
SDFS?
This table, is it being created in IVE table?
Hive table is created in SDFS only, right? Because the warehouse directory, this is an internal table because Okay, so if you want to create an external table, you have to use external keyword, then it will create external table. So it will be also in the SDFS. Whether
Okay.
internal or external, both are in SDFS. The difference is internal is the warehouse directory in user hive warehouse directory, and external table is outside the warehouse directory. That's the difference.
Manage is default.
Manage
I
is
mean,
default, right?
my-
Like if you are not
Yeah.
giving anything like external keyword, so it will go directly on the warehouse directory. Okay. But external also, if you are not giving the location, it will be also going to the warehouse, right?
Yes.
But if you are giving
Yeah.
external with location, location is
Because we,
important. Okay.
yes, we use means the same location. That's why it's happened.
It is taking the location of your db dot database dot db. If you check in the hive, it will be created in the warehouse in the database dot db folder. So if I want to see the I want to see this is showing the we can do Hadoop fs command, and then we can find what is the directory of like we can see Hadoop fs minus
One more
ls.
question, sir.
User hive warehouse. This is my warehouse directory, and this warehouse directory I have a one. Okay, test.db folder. Okay, so there is a test.db. So all internal table going in this test.db as a folder. So you created two tables so far. So you created two folders, right? Employee and employee one. If you want to see the data, so data file will be inside this. What is this? Okay, so test.db, and then you say employee one. Okay, so I can see what other data file is there. So here is a Parquet file is stored, right? When the hive is writing the data, it is writing the data as a Parquet file. So this file you can't read it, but you can when you see in the hive shell you start, so you can see this same whatever you can see with the Spark, same you can see with the hive. Okay, because ultimately it is going to create in the hive itself. Okay, so that is in creating in the hive. So this is the location, right? Because you are not providing the location. If you are providing the location for external table, okay, so then it will be going outside the warehouse directory. Otherwise, whether internal or external, both can be go. If you are not specifying location, it will go to the warehouse directory. Okay. Okay, so next is here we do partition table. Okay, so far we seen non-partition table, right? It's a non-partition table. I think this is a Spark shell. This is a different Spark shell. Okay, I choose this and open another same like a window, like multiple tabs. So that is more easy. This is not in this.
Sharing the Windows 9.
Yeah, where is gone that
Yeah,
the Spark shell?
I can. You have control. You have control.
Yeah, okay, you started here another shell. Okay, so now we do the same thing for the partition, right? How it will create partition from the Spark. Okay, so I just save it the same data, but I specify the partition by clause. Let's see that it will create a partition table or how it will create. Okay, so I'm just writing the same data frame. I'm writing a same data frame, and I say here partition by clause.
Partition
Okay?
by.
So I'm saying here partition by, and I'm specifying my partition is a date partition, and I'm giving a date. Some date I given, and so I'm specifying my partition by date. Date is a partition column. Okay, and then I'm saying, because insert into I can't do, I have to do the save as table because there is no existing table, right? Otherwise it will give me the error. What error it will give? No partition there, because table is there. This
Okay,
employee one
that's-
table is there. Let's see
There was
that
no
what error
partition in
comes.
that table.
So you
will
understand the
be-
error also. See what it is
Yeah.
saying? Insert into, you are trying to do non-partition table and trying to insert the partition. Okay.
Yes.
So partition column already been defined for the table or can be used together. Okay. So we create a new table, save as table. So I gave save as table and I say here
Employee 2.
employee 2. One is there, employee is there. So employee 2 or employee underscore part, so that we remember this is a partition table.
Okay.
Okay.
Something happened. What?
It's not defined in the part. Partition column date is not defined. Partition column is not defined in.
Oh,
We don't have dates. We don't have dates in the data.
you don't have the date. You don't have date in the schema of that thing.
No, but I'm creating a new table now, so it should create that column itself. But this partition by. Okay, let's try the dynamic partition. Oh, yeah. In my data frame, date column is not there. That's a problem.
tell it.
Okay. Yeah. So data frame should have the date column. Then it will understand, okay, this, because then it will create a new table with the partition clause and that particular date value it will do. If it is a static, if it is a dynamic, right? Suppose you have a different dates are there and you want to create a separate partition. So first we add a one with column. Okay. So my data frame, I add a new column as a date column. Okay, so data frame.
Dot with column.
Okay, so yeah. Actually, one new variable I create. Okay. Because I have to add, okay, I have to add already. I have employee pf dot with column. Date. And I have to add some hard coded date. Okay, so just I verify my data frame. I have the,
That's not
okay.
the
Actually, I have to assign back. So that's the
Okay.
reason I have to create a some
Release.
var type.
Place transformation.
Yeah, so I have to add the column, right? So because either you make it a var type so that you can add the column and you can assign back. Okay, then this will remain there. Okay, because when I do dot show in the same command, I will do dot show, I will get the date column, but it is not storing in the original one, right? So when I do this, when I do dot show, so I will see the date column. Okay, but this date column is not coming, right? So either I should create a var type of data frame and then I should assign. Okay.
So you can reassign it to the data frame.
Yeah, because this is a val type. Okay. So if I'm trying like this to assign, because it will give me the error.
error.
So I should create a new data frame.
Exactly.
So,
That's easiest.
If I did not put the date, sir,
so then it's giving error rate, right? Basically the date it should be in your data frame, right? So you should have date in your data frame, then it will assume it like, okay, you are partition column. Now I created a one new data frame with the, now in this data frame dot show.
For sure. You will have
So
it.
now I have a date column in my data frame. Now I go for my write operation. So write operation, I was getting the error. I'm trying to create a one partition table with the this, but I don't have the date column in my data frame. So how it will write?
We
Oh,
can do that, sir.
You didn't change the data frame now.
Again,
Again, you had the old one.
again, option, sir.
Right there.
What
Right
is saying? Partition column
No.
date.
The very first
Employ
statement,
df dot write dot
MDF.
option override.
before
Okay.
the write mode, before the write dot mode,
No,
Bef-
no,
before the
no,
write.
no. What you are saying, right? What to change in this?
No, the data frame. Keep going to the end.
Uh,
Far left. You're going right.
okay.
Far
To
left.
the MDF one,
One,
MDF one.
MDF.
df.
Oh, one,
Yes.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why, but it still is saying error, right?
Why? Then it's a different problem.
See, this error, do you understand first? Like this error is saying it's not defined the table columns, ID, name,
Yes.
age. So, but this table, I think this table is already created. Let's see that first show tables, because maybe this table is created.
SQL dot table.
Show we have to do.
So, yes,
No, table is not there. Okay, table is not created,
we have
but
to create.
why it is saying the existing table partition column date is not defined in the table employee part table, and the fields are, the columns are ID, name, age, date. ID. So date column is there, right? Now in the data frame it's there, ID, name, age, date, and date. So it should save as table I'm doing. Okay. Okay, we create a table, new table we create, and with the partition by clause.
Okay.
Let's try with the, because it should create a new table also based on the data frame partition column. Okay, but data frame. So we have a create table syntax, this one. Okay, so we have to add a partition by clause here. Partition
EITION.
partition by, right? Partition by, and of type is string. Okay, but this table is already there. So
yeah, because you already created that too. Maybe create another one though. But they said it not exists. But if
create table. Yeah, we are creating a new table, right? So what error is there? Partition by clause is error,
Well,
right?
dot right.
Partition by,
partitioned or partition.
It should be partitioned by, or is it partitioned by?
I don't know.
It should be partitioned by.
Statement partition. Is it partitioned or partition?
Spark dot SQL dot write. na, sir.
partition, right? It's a partition, right? Partition. The clause name is a
Yes,
partition by, and then column name, and the syntax is correct. Partition, PIRTII. Okay, spelling is wrong. Partition by.
Yeah.
yes.
ED is not supposed to be there.
That's what I was asking. Is it
TITI.
partition?
TI
TION.
TIONED. Okay,
Oh,
and
it's
by
partition.
space by. Okay, the space is there.
Will there be space? It doesn't look like there will be space there.
Okay, like this partition by. No, it still is wrong, right?
I think it's partition. The ED will not be there. Partition.
PARI PRTI
Then you remove the
TITI
ED. Yeah, remove the ED.
TITIONED. It's correct. Okay,
Okay.
IONED. By is having
Yes.
space. So this table is created. Okay.
They're
Now,
very separate. Hmm. Interesting.
Oh, wow.
okay. So this one we are writing to employee underscore part. Save as table. Date is a partition by and employee DF1. So employee DF1 is a new data frame.
That partition by is SQL statement. Okay.
No, here is the method, right? PRTITION by.
Yeah. Partition
By-
by in Spark is different from partition by in as SQL statement.
So here when we are giving, what is error? Why is still saying the same error, right? Test dot employee underscore part defined column ID name age date column. So okay, we try the dynamic partition. Let's keep the date. Okay, so I think the static one is giving error. It is looking for the same partition value. Like already you have some date partition and you are going to overwrite the existing partition. Okay, so static partition, you should have already predefined partition, this partition date value. Now I can try because now this partition is created.
It's created
Okay.
now. Yes.
Now it's created and now we try this command. Okay, and I do in the append mode. I want to append the data in the same existing partition.
Right.
Because if I do overwrite, so it will be coming out every time one record only. So I do append mode.
It's not appended default.
No, last time I did, it's a created a new partition, right? New partition automatically, right? With the date
So, but when
value,
you,
whatever
when you
date.
put append, I think append is okay, but append is the default, isn't it?
Yeah, default, but again, it's giving some error here, right? For static partitioning, I think we have to give the single code where it's not taking the date. The format is correct. It's a string type value. Let's try this.
Yeah, that may be. I think so. No.
Save as what we are giving. Oh, we are trying to save as, right? How it works? Because this is insert into.
Okay.
Insert into.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time is insert into cannot be used together with the partition by. Partition column have already defined in for the table. It is not necessary to use the partition by. Okay, so it is saying for existing part. Okay, so I think it's saying to
It's already partitioned.
partition by clause is saying not to use because the table is already
It's
partition
already,
table.
it's already partitioned, so it's a redundant statement.
So now I check the data. What data is there in this table? Okay, select star from employee. Two records, right? Two is
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, yeah.
Because first one I did, I inserted. So when you are doing first time, right? So then you have partition by clause, but second time it will not allow to use the partition by clause for the
Because-
existing table.
Because it's already partitioned, and then
And let's try with the new table one, okay? Because that one, why it is not working right? Save as table.
you change the name. Yeah. No.
It is some static error is saying like is not defined in the table. And whereas the tables defined table columns are ID, name, age, date. Okay. But partition column date is not defined in the table. But it is not mandatory, like we should have the partition. We should have the already existing partition.
So if
But,
you remove the
okay,
partition, if
Okay,
you
we try the dynamic partition is working or not.
yeah.
For new table, dynamic partition is working. So new table, dynamic partition or static partition, both are working. Oh, for a existing table. For the new table, only dynamic partition is working for new table. So now it's created a new table. Now it's
Yeah.
created a new table. This is part one. And it automatically loaded data. So generally, rather than hard coded, right? Suppose my data frame you have. So if you want to overwrite, then you should always use overwrite to do the all data if you are having existing one. Okay, so this is the new one. So I
Yeah.
created a new partition table. So always create a new partition table with save as table. Okay, save as table is working, right? So save as table and give the partition table and give the dynamic partition way, not go for static for the new table. Okay, so remember it, this point. Okay, while you are writing the partition table, while you are writing partition table from Spark into Hive database, okay, use dynamic partition to write new partition table. Okay, because for static, it will ask you the table should have already some existing partition, like same name, same value, it should already have. Then you can try. Okay, so you should use always the dynamic partition for the new. For existing, both are fine, right? We checked it for existing partition table, for existing partition table in Hive, partition table in Hive. Okay, so so append or this one is the there it's general behavior, whatever the behavior is there. Okay, so like either you are giving date equal to 2023-09. This will work for insert into okay, or you can give the dynamic way, both will work, right? So this behavior will come whatever you want to do, whether you want append or override. Okay, but this one is a insert into, you will work both. So insert into, whether you can static or dynamic, both will work. But in case of it is giving the error, right? The table column value should be defined already in the Hive table. Okay, otherwise you can't write the static one. The static one you can't use it. The static one we can't use, right? The static one for save as table, right? Like static one we can't create for the new table. So did you see the difference in these two? One is a dynamic, one is the insert static. So so dynamic is creating for both, whether there is a new table or it's an existing table. But static will work only for the existing table. Okay, for existing insert into one. Okay, so that's a difference. Okay, so this one is like all this command we can copy paste it, right? So this is write command. Okay, insert into command. Okay, so so how to create a table? How you can do spark.sql show tables. Okay, before that you will be doing the database create. You can do spark.sql. Okay, use test show table. And this is the create table. Okay, show tables. Okay, and okay, so you create a data frame, empty data frame, and then add the column. So this is create a data frame. So create table command, you want to see the schema of your table. So you want to see create table syntax, you want to see, you can show create table. And yeah, so this is a command side we created for a new data. So here I created a data frame. So this, why it's coming?
If it goes off the edge,
This one, this is so this is code statement, and this is my RDD. This one, this is my record. This one, and employee. This is wrong. Remove it. This one, this is row. Okay. So first we created this is Scala shell. So we right. So all these will be running in the Scala shell. Create a row, this one RDD, then schema, then data frame, and then we have to add in this data frame a new column by empdf1, and then empdf1, then we will write it. Yes. So then okay. So this is the analysis side for partition, non-partition one. So simple, like just this partition by clause will not come. So this same append and override non-partition table. So you can say non-partition table. So non-partition table, just simply you will not have any partition by clause. So this thing you remember, right? Like when the table is not there, you can use that thing also. I write it when table is there or not there, like you can use insert into. So when table is not there in Hive, use always save as table. Okay, use this.
to
Okay.
create to create one.
And this is a simple table, so I say employee 4. Okay, and when the table is already there, you can use either save as table or insert into. So when table is there in Hive, use either save as table or insert into. Okay, insert into clause. So here you can use either save as table or you can use insert I capital into. Okay, so both will work fine. And append and override, that is the default is append, and that you can change anytime, anyone. Okay, and if you have, while you are having writing a partition table, then you have this too. Okay, and the Spark SQL. Okay, so this is the, you can save it, Spark Hive integration, and we add those steps also. The starting with the first add Hive site configuration file in Spark configuration folder. The next is we have to start the meta server UI. The first step.
Spark.
Second one is start Hive meta store
That's,
service
Metastore. STOR.
STOR store service, and then we can give it hyphen service
Service. Space.
meta
Metastore.
store. And third step is to start Spark shell.
Mhm.
Spark hyphen shell minus driver
Drivers.
Java hyphen,
I think drivers or
Option.
driver. Oh, okay, driver
and
options.
then you have to specify in the double quote t minus 3 hive dot master store dot URI. Yeah, I am typing
Okay.
metastore dot URI Swift colon / localhost host 908 and double quote close. Okay, after that, once this is Spark Scala shell. Okay, so this file you can send it to everyone. Okay, so this is the completely Hive, so all the Hive integrations, and this one. You have Mongo Cassandra, anything installed in your
Yes,
system?
yes.
Okay, so can you open? Okay, so we tested Mongo first. Okay, so
Mongo I found. Mongo is a
Mongo you have not CQLSH.
try Cassandra. I thought that I installed Mongo.
Yeah, Cassandra is there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cassandra is there. Okay, so that we do
I thought I
Cassandra
installed Mongo. I don't know what's going on. I thought I did. I installed everything. But
because if Mongo is there, so MongoDB service.
check. Is there, right?
Yeah, Mongo is there. So, okay, first we do the Cassandra integration. Okay, so Cassandra integration. So Cassandra, like, okay, what we have to do the Cassandra, like Cassandra is a NoSQL DB. Just I explain that first. So Cassandra is having the all SQL DB's operations, like whatever SQL we write, create table and those things. think you're
I don't know.
okay. So Cassandra has the terminology is a key space. Okay, generally we say any database, right? Whether it's a SQL or NoSQL, right? So we say the database is there and database has tables, and tables we say records, and records having the fields. Okay. So this is a collection of fields or record, and records collection is a table, and table collection is a database. It's like a collection. Okay. So when I say in the NoSQL database, okay, the NoSQL database, when I talk about Mongo, so Mongo has the database is there and database has the collection. Okay. So MongoDB has is a database, Mongo database has a DB database, and database has so MongoDB has a database and database has the collections. So different collections are like a tables. You can say tables, and tables has the document. Documents are nothing but the records. So we call it documents are records. Okay. So in the Cassandra, when I say Cassandra, so Cassandra is a here the database is called the key space. So key space, when I define a key space, and key space is like a database in the Cassandra. And then further in the key space database, we have the tables. So tables are there, and tables have the record. So tables have records. Okay. So this is the terminology in the Cassandra. So first we create a key space. Okay. So create key space command to we create a key space, create key space. And I say test key space, and with replication, because it's a distributed one, right? So it's a peer-to-peer architecture. Cassandra has peer-to-peer. Mongo has the master-slave architecture. It's a master and slave architecture, like one master and multiple slave nodes are there. And Cassandra is peer-to-peer architecture. So peer-to-peer architecture is like where one node of your like Cassandra has the information about the other node, adjacent node. So record peer-to-peer architecture. And this architecture, every node has information about other node,
Just
other peer node, peer node. Okay.
okay.
So this is more faster, right? Because if your one node is down, so adjacent node will become the backup for the node. Okay. So that's the peer-to-peer.
think you
Master
mean-
slave is like a master is communicating to slave. Okay. So Cassandra, we define the replication. With replication, like we define the with replication, and then we define the one different types of replication strategies are there. Okay. So different types of replication strategies are there. So we have a class for that class. Okay. And this class is we can use like simple strategy. So simple strategy is the one type. One is a network strategy is there. So simple strategy. So some difference is there. So define the key space. So simple strategy. And then next thing I have to define the replication factor. The replication factor is will be deciding how many replicas copies will be there. Like in the Hadoop replication factor is 3 default, but we can change that replication factor. So if you want to change, then you can do alter table, alter key space. You can change the replication factor. So replication factor, okay, this is a one node. I'm giving replication factor is 1. But we have to specify while creating a key space, we have to specify the replication factor. Okay, so we have to close braces. Why it is not? Okay, and then I use semicolon. So this is a command to create a key space. So I will go to my Cassandra DB. I started already SQLSL. So when you have start the Cassandra, so Cassandra is running on the port 9042, and the Cassandra version is 3.4.5 or 4.010. Okay, So 4.010 is the Cassandra version you are using, 4x version. This is a 4x version.
Yeah.
And we can define here, create key space. Okay, a spelling mistake. You can see more commands on the one tutorial 0.1, the complete, like it's created. Okay, so now if I want to see all the key spaces, right? So describe command is here is a no show table command. Okay, so don't be confused. Here is no show table. Here is a describe command is there. Suppose I want to see the key.
Why can't all of them be consistent so that
See, this is a NoSQL, right? So SQL is having the, because SQL is the SQL, right? NoSQL is NoSQL, but here it is giving the SQL like a query environment. Okay, that's database has provided, but that's the reason it is not consistent. Okay, so NoSQL means every NoSQL is a different type. Like all are the category of the NoSQL, but their different types or categories are there, right? You know, JSON document is there, key value pair is there, one is a graph DB is there, NoSQL, one is a column family is there. So those are different types of NoSQL. Okay, and their theorem is different. There is a CAP theorem is there, consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. So that's the main difference, right? Okay, but NoSQL will follow their NoSQL rules. Okay, describe key spaces. So you will be able to see some already predefined system key spaces are there, and your key space is created. Okay, so once you create your key space, okay, so I can use command is same. Like see, it is not like everything is like now for selecting the database, they're giving the same command. So use test. Okay, so this command is same. Use test. Now you are inside your database. Now can you see here colon test? Now I'm going to create a table. It's the same command, like same way you can create a table. So you say create table. So almost syntax is not very much different, right? Here emp id int, same primary key option is there, primary key. Okay, and employee name, but here is a not varchar type, here is a text type, employee name. And Cassandra is supporting the collection type also. If you want have that's the reason there is no relationships are there. So suppose you have a list of addresses are there, and these addresses are the string type of list. So you can define a collection list. If you have a set type set, you can define. If you have a map type of data, similar to Hive, like you know, in Hive we have a complex data type. So same thing is there in the Cassandra. Okay, so text, comma, emp city, text, emp phone, emp cell, that is a variant type. Okay, and emp phone variant, and I'm just creating a table. So table is created.
Right.
Okay, now I want to, so same like a command describe test you give, because you are going to check in the database, right?
No, the name of the table is emp, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can, when you do, see describe command is when you say describe key space, you will get the information about the table, right? When you say describe table, oh no, describe database, you did first, you did the describe key spaces, so all the databases you got it. Now you did the describe particular key space, so you are getting the table information, right? The only one table we created, so it is giving the syntax of the your key space, and you're giving the information about the table is in that key space, right? So you are getting the information, right? This is a create table, and this table has these many columns. So these are the additional properties added in automatically in the table, but it is for the, so if you want to alter table command is there, drop table drop command is there. Now I want to insert the data. Insert data, there is a insert into command. It's the same SQL command, and you say emp underscore id, emp underscore name, emp underscore name, id, emp city, emp phone, city, phone, and salary. So whatever sequence you write it, same sequence you give, the same like it's a in the SQL also we do values. So you are specifying the same sequence. So column name you can, it is not mandatory like it should be in the same order, but whatever order you use here for your field here, the same order you give the value. Okay, so you specify the value. One is the ID, name in the single quote, YG, then city, okay, W, and city, phone number. Phone number I given as a
It's
integer, so I have to give the variant, so some number, and the last is I given salary. So it is asking. Now select command, select star from emp. So all these command are handy. Star from. Okay, so you have seen like create a database, key space, create a table, insert the data. This is the same SQL commands I run. Okay, so I can run multiple batch also. There is a like you want to do insert, update, delete operation in the batch. So you can have some batch command is there. So you can specify batch, right? You say batch, begin batch. So that command. So all those commands are there in the tutorial point. Okay, I will refer to you because I have those syntax I will give you. Okay. So collection type you want to create, you can create your own collection. So you can create a table, create table data name, and you say here you have text primary, and you have email of list text type. So emails, because email could be multiple email. So I say email of list of text. Okay. Space will come. Okay, so this table is created. Like you want to insert the data, so you can insert the data with the list type values. So insert into data. So you specify. Even directly we can give the values if we are in the same order we are giving. Insert data values because it's a SQL syntax, right? So it should work. So I'm giving, I don't need to give the column. I'm giving a column name, first column, and second one is the list type. So list type is I have to give in the square bracket, I have to give two values, a@abc.com, and another one is b@abc.com. So I give in the two values in the square bracket, and what is the next step? Oh, insert into table. Okay, let's try this one. First field is a name. It's emails. Okay, so select star from data. So I'm able to see the list type data. So any particular index value you want to get, you can do select star from, then you can give the index value and you can get the data. So suppose I want to do with the I have to start the Cassandra, the Spark shell. So Spark hyphen shell, and I have to use minus package, packages, and the package name is com. This is a DataStax product, right? This Cassandra, so DataStax Spark. It's a Cassandra is Apache Cassandra, but DataStax is a like a Confluent is for Kafka, right? That is a third-party provider, right? It's a distribution giving. So similar way like DataStax. So com DataStax dot Spark, and the connector name is Spark hyphen Cassandra hyphen connector underscore 2.12 is the Scala version, and the Spark version is 3.01, 3.0.11, and this is my Spark version 3.0. So I start my Spark shell. Okay, when this comes. Okay, once your shell comes, so I will get a data frame, well df spark.read.format. So like for SQL we have a JDBC, but for the NoSQL we have a different format is there. So org Apache Spark, this is a package SQL dot Cassandra. Okay, so this is the okay, so this is the format type, and then we have to provide the options. So options, and I'm providing a map of key value pair. Okay. So in the PySpark also the similar way you will do. Okay, but there is the you have to use the directly df. There is no well and format and then format and option. So that way we will provide spark dot Cassandra dot connection dot host. So here is the host property is there. So this host property, so I'm using this is a key value pair. So key value pair I'm telling here my host is 127.0.0 or localhost you can give 0.1, and second property is comma table. So table is I will be specifying my table. So my table is I created employee table, right? Yes, table PMP. This shall it is. Yeah. So EMP is my table, and next property I have to tell key space because it should know which database, which server, and which key space. So I have to tell key space. Okay, I have to tell which key space. So I have to tell my key space name. Key space I created test. So I'm trying to first create a table and then reading that data and that load function. Here is a illegal start of simple pattern. Map is there, right? Map we are defined. This is a key, this is a value. It is pointing out the error here. XY is correct. Typical start of the map of
Mhm. Mm.
data. Dot post spark dot. This is the one property. It is coming here, sir, right? Should take a double quote. I think double quote will come on. So open the browser. Just see the syntax. Open browser.
Value df equal to spark dot read dot format.
Yeah, it's correct, right? Oh, okay. Equal sign is not there.
No.
Ah, okay. Equal sign is not there. Everything is
Yes.
correct only. That is the reason it is not able to assign. Yeah. But good catch. Mm. Mm.
Problem.
So now the actual error is there. So it is saying it is not able to connect, failed to send request to your. Okay, we try localhost on because sometimes there's 127. Oh, 127, right? Not 27. Okay, 127 is the local host.
It's too much syntax to type, that's why.
See, it's coming.
Yeah.
So
It's-
so typing is a very like crucial. Like if you mistake something, so it is
That's
very
it. And it's so frustrating because you may not see it immediately. Simple syntax.
sorry, this one. And suppose I want to write the data frame. So I have already data frame is there. I want to create a new table. Okay. So we have EMP DF1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is a new shell started, right? So that's the reason. So we
Okay.
have command. Can you go to your notepad? That okay here.
Nobody said it's up there.
No, that was not on the notepad. Okay, that was on the text. Yeah, here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So the same thing I will do here because I have to test the. I'm able to create the. So I will run all these statements. Last statement you have to run manually because it doesn't run automatically.
Hmm.
So you run this now. You have employee df. Okay. So now we employee df. Okay. Now I want to write into the Cassandra. So employee df dot write dot format. So again, the format things the same like whatever we use. So org dot Apache Spark dot SQL dot Cassandra. Spark dot SQL dot Cassandra. So don't remember it. C will not be capital. It will be small only. Format. Okay, Cassandra, and then options. So options we have to provide dot options, and then we will create a map of. So map of we have to create a table. So table we have to give. So table is EMP table, same like key value pair. Okay. And the next thing is the key space. Two things we have to give. And we have to give key space. Key space name is test. Close. And then we have to say save dot save. Okay.
Hmm.
This syntax is same, only the parameters will change.
Yeah.
Okay. Again here, employee df Cassandra
Cassandra. Is it Cassandra? Cassandra.
AN, not EN. This is AN.
That's what I mean. Cassandra. Yeah. No.
Okay. The thing is, I have to give in the double quote because it's not a variable. It is a string. The string value is always given in the double quote.
Hmm.
So here, actually, one thing is must here. Here, it cannot do either append or overwrite. It is must here. Okay, so you have to specify the mode. So write dot mode.
Dot.
Okay, so this is the first time you can use any one, it's fine. But here is the default mode, it's not taking automatically.
Okay.
Okay.
Something wrong? Something verbose.
Okay, so
Can
some
I
error
use
is
a-
there. Attempting to write in the table, but missing primary key column employee ID. Employee
I have
ID.
a question, sir.
Uh,
Can I write a mode or means the option?
Mode
Then we can
op-
append.
So I define the mode option right here as an
Yeah.
option, as an option.
Yeah, as an option.
Yeah, option also you can give, but mode is already the. So again, otherwise option you give, so you have to give key value pair. You have to give because that will be little lengthy, right? You say options and then double quote, you say mode, comma, double quote, append, right? So this mode is directly method is there. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah, got
directly
it.
you can use mode and pass the mode. You don't need to give the like mode means like you are already telling this mode is this mode. Okay, but options you need to tell which option. Option means the generic parameter options, right? Okay, so
Yeah,
option you need to specify, right? So it is 1025, but missing primary key. I created table or so- okay, existing table is there and primary key column is missing. So in our so describe describe EMP. So primary key is there, employee underscore ID. Okay, okay. What data frame I'm writing? That data frame I'm writing for the different. Okay, so here, what data frame we written, right? This data frame. So this data frame is different, right? Here is ID is there, not employee ID. Okay, so this structure is different from the. So I should create a table for this structure. Okay, I have to create a table for this structure. So I have these three columns: ID, name, and age, and I have to create ID as a primary key. So that's mismatching, right? Okay, so I should primary. In int type or variant. Variant is a variable type of integer value. It will shrink it. So create table. Okay. So now I try to write into EMP1. Yeah. So now I check the result. Okay. Start from EMP1. Yeah. So this data is done. If I want to select the data, we have already read command. This one. So I give the employee one. CF1 dot show. So this new data. Okay. So I just write it this command so that it will be handy. Okay. So this is for reading the data from the table, creating your table. Those command we take it here. So create table.
Right there.
Create table. And this is initially it will come blank because the data is not there. Okay. And then we can write data. So we created. This is our write command. This is a write command. And before this write command, okay, so we use the append mode because we got this error right here. So append mode is must. Okay, this is creating a data frame. So these all options are same. This is all same of this. So from here, create a data frame. Yeah, so create a data frame and then write the data frame into table. And this the one you can again do the next time you can do the check the data. Show. But this Cassandra should be installed properly. That should be the first prerequisite. Okay, so we'll take a break and then I'll do Mongo also. Okay, and yeah, you can send these two files in the here in the chat, so that will be good for everyone. Like,
Sure.
okay, I connect in the 10 minutes.
Thank you.